Okay, welcome to San Diego. I'm staying at Hilton Bayfront last night. Okay, we'll go see the Midway soon, the museum. Petco Park's over there. And the convention center is right here. 9th story view, up to 30 floors. Also, there's dogs everywhere. There's big dogs, little dogs, noisy dogs, pooping dogs, everywhere. But they're always playing, they're always out here playing, they're carrying them around and stuff. There's some over there playing. I've never seen this many dogs. I mean, even over there, maybe it's like a dog park or something, but even on the streets everywhere, there's dogs everywhere. Most people have the 2 dogs with them. There's some playing over there now, but I can't see on here. Well, but that's maybe because of Petco Park, but they're everywhere. At the U.S. Midway Museum. We've been here 4 years ago. We're back. It's one of the must-see things to do here in San Diego. Lots of aircraft here, and pigeons. They still fly, but F8J cockpit. See, orientation trainer. It looked like a training one. F8 Crusader. Imagine you just start for the first time and then you're trained in this thing. All those styles and everything. Wow. These are the seats. Oh look, they got simulators over there. They all sat and transported. Probably your grandfather probably.
Oh, it tells you about every. You need this.
They picked up.
I got that.
I think they're picked up. They pick up the astronauts with these things. Wow. F4 Phantom. These are the Vietnam. Vietnam era.
Are these the Top Gun ones? Because the similar cockpit as Top Gun.
Wow, look inside here. T2. Okay. Pilot.
That one you can get it.
Pilot trainer.
You don't want to get in it? I will not fit in there, Mom.
I think the Viking. I knew somebody who flew in that Desert Storm. You don't realize how many different planes there are until you come here and see so many different planes in the military. At least a lot of these they don't use anymore though.
I didn't get that from the audio. I think he pulled. Is that all it is? Oh, okay. They didn't have like a sign like up there. That's a tiny guy for a big. Wasn't she married? Wasn't that the
Probably.
joke
No.
about it?
Something.
Going that way?
They didn't know each other.
Yeah, they didn't know each other.
That's a famous scene after World War II.
Fishing over there?
V-Day. V-dating.
This is where the map is.
They had their mission briefings.
This one. I think over here is where it says, oh, the house, where they talk about power. Here's a
Yeah.
Oh, look, see the credit of each ship that gets, like a Midway, like on here, June 17, 1965, it tells you who shot them down off this ship. These are all the kills from the Phantom II.
That Randy guy shot down 3.
Some people have got several. There's 2 from here.
Well, no, this
and
is the
then
people's
here's
names.
the other ships over here. All the other ships. Midway down there, there's 4 in a row.
Different people, though. Well, Ron
2 of
got
them.
2.
Okay, Ron got 2.
Jack.
Yeah, no Jack. He
Oh.
won't be on that. He didn't fly that plane. In the intruder ready room. Intruder official. This is a list in the Navy of the ones that were lost or taken as prisoner of war. And then here's the ones that killed in action. It tells you the aircraft and the squadron and the cause. And over here, operational accidents, which that's kind of surprising, but look at all that operational accidents that someone died. So safety is important to everything. All kind of relics in here. Models, board seats.
Oh.
We're going to work on trying to get up
Can I
inside
fit there? Yeah, you can
control
fit there.
towers.
It's the same as that one.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, we did this about 4 years ago. We did this. Every time you come, it seems like this time we came, we found more stuff we didn't see last time. All the carrier fleets are here too.
That will start here in primary flight control. The other 2 stops are the chart room and the bridge, the navigation bridge. So when flight operations took place, this is where the air boss and the mini boss would oversee the operation. Very active, unfortunately very dangerous operation. So they had to be very good at what they did. Both would have been Navy commanders, 1 grade below captain, experienced naval officers, Navy flyers. They would have also been commanding officer of a tailhook squadron before coming here. So for a naval aviator, this was a key stop on the way to hopefully higher command, including command of a carrier. It's a 2-year tour, by the way. The commander comes aboard as the mini boss, spends a year in that right seat, moves over here when the air boss moves on to the next assignment. But the way they divide their responsibilities, the mini boss is looking at the forward part of the ship where the catapults are, where they launch planes. And those catapults take an airplane from 0 to 160 miles an hour in 2.5 seconds. So it's a wild ride, to say the least. And if you'll notice, the landing area, which has the white and yellow stripe line right down the middle, that's actually a 13-degree offset with the center line of the ship. Midway and all the carriers before Midway and some after were straight deck carriers. So the problem was, if you had a crash on landing, which happens, they'd go forward into other personnel, airplanes. The British came up with the idea to have an angled deck. So when Midway was 10 years old in 1955, she went through an extensive renovation. And one of the big changes was the addition of an angled deck. So the mini boss is looking at launch. Also, the mini boss has responsibility for the training and supervision of the flight deck crew because they got bigger and faster. So you have the flight deck crew. The air boss was focused on landing, and pilot coming in is coming in about 150 miles an hour, attempting to be on a glide slope of 3.5 degrees. If the pilot can see that ball, the orange ball in the middle of that lighting system, that's a 3.5 degree glide slope. If you can't see it, you're either too high or too low, in which case, and these lights, by the way, are back aft, right in the stern of the ship. But if not on that glide slope, the landing signal officer, who's on a platform back aft on the port side, will guide that pilot. Maybe if he's a little low, say power, 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 bring it up. Now he sees the light, say, I see the ball, I have the ball. The pilot is also looking at the center line, making sure that you're lined up properly. And the goal is to put that tail hook down in an area the size of a tennis court. You run out about 348 feet and come to a stop. And that's how it's done. With that, we're going to move on to our next stop, which is the chart room.
Keep the birds from landing up here. Oh, yeah.
Remember the 41 when you're done? See how high up it is down here? Okay. There.
Let's take quarters. The map room.
Wild ride. Plus,
Yeah. Joe, was there any point where they wouldn't land?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, you know, when they do have a flight event, they call it, they always have a secondary destination. Although in a storm, no, they wouldn't take off from a storm, so they wouldn't have an issue with landing. And if weather changed, you wouldn't change that drastically.
Really that quickly, yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be, you know, a landing that they wouldn't necessarily look forward to, but the alternative isn't very attractive either. So, all right, so this is a chart room, home of the navigation department, led by a commander, Navy commander, aviator, assisted by about 20 individuals called quartermasters, and their job is to track the movement of the ship and the position of the ship at all times. There are 3 charts. These are navigation charts. Well, actually 2 of them are. This one is Subic Bay, which was a frequent stop during Vietnam. Refuel, rearm, a great shipyard for repairs. This one is Yokosuka, Japan, and that was the final home port for Midway. For a long time she was home ported here, but then to get closer to Western Pacific and cut down on the transit times, they changed the home port, which means families moved, there was housing and so forth. The one over there is not actually a nautical chart. It looks like one. It's a map. Because these are produced by an outfit, and I don't remember the name. It might be NOAA, but you'll notice a lot of numbers, both in the white area, the aqua-colored area, and so forth. Those are depths of the water in fathoms.
Okay.
So with a ship like Midway that has a draft, that is the amount of hull under the water, right? 32 feet, fully loaded. You need to be sure you have enough water under the keel and not run aground. But entering and leaving port is always fun. You know, you're basically on a tight track. It's called an intended track. That's the dark black line. There's some chicken scratch. You'll see also numbers alongside. Those are the various headings. And so entering port or leaving port, you use a method of navigation called piloting. You have 2 quartermasters, one on each wing, and I'll show you a device they use when we head to the bridge. But they have certain points of land that have been called out in advance, and they're going to be giving constant readings. As the ship moves, those bearings change. You take reciprocal of bearings, And where the lines cross, that's the chicken scratch. And you can see, pretty accurate. When they get a fix, like we call it a fix, they'll contact the bridge and they'll say, based on an excellent fix, we hold the ship 50 yards left of track or on track. Radar, the airport, whatever. I call in those bearings as quick as I can. Where those lines cross. That's the pilot house. And this is where the watch team drove the ship. So this base was manned all the time, underway, night and day. Every 4 hours or so, a new group would come up and relieve the team up here. The group was led by an individual designated officer of the deck. That's a designation in writing by the captain. When the captain is satisfied that that person has what it takes to take responsibility for driving a 69,000-ton ship with 4,500 officers and sailors aboard. The captain, by the way, was never far from the bridge when the ship was underway. If you haven't seen it, you may see it today. It's open to visiting down below the captain's quarters, which is pretty comfortable. But when the ship got underway, he moved. He moved up here. It's made second class, young man or woman, 20, 21 years of age. It's not only responsible for the supervision, but also the training. So you need to train helmsmen, people steering. The lee helmsman gives engine order changes. So if we want to, let's say we're going all ahead 1/3, and the officer of the deck, calling officer, says ahead 2/3. Head 2/3, indicate turns for 10 knots. It's a chart over here that tells you how many.
Captain Porter.
That's his quarter?
So you go down 3 levels, and you come out on the flight deck.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay?
You're very welcome.
Wait, I think that's where one of the answers is for the test thing.
In there? Or in there? There's like a thing in there.
Oh, kitchen.
Let me look and see what it says.
What ways do we go?
That way, maybe. I have that shirt.
Oh, are you guys from Florida too? Or
We're from Texas.
Oh, okay.
We go to Florida very often.
Yeah.
Only for one place.
Only for one.
She could go to both parts.
Yeah, that's true.
Buildup of that action was called Desert Shield, and the actual combat operations were called Desert Storm.
How do we get out of here?
Well,
This war room is where my
that
staff
way.
that way.
received our orders and allocated our strike missions to aircraft carriers.
Where's the room at with all the list of all the people?
Yeah, check the weather. Check the weather. Just check the weather for us.
Radio room.
That's it. Is it gonna rain?
Yeah, stuff
No.
like- Huh.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh yeah. No action. Oh yeah,
Oh,
changes.
I'm reading.
Imagine having to go
Radar
and
screen
get how many
contacts.
stars to get where you need to
Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, it changes up there when you do it.
Yeah, because it's okay. Because each one is a different mode. So this one's for an air tank or your track, auto track, FC test, display test,
go. Oh, I see.
data access, spare, lines and points. So like it depends on.
Oh no. I get it. Oh.
Comes down to motivating each of my sailors to do their jobs to the very best of their abilities. From engineering to communications, I have to mold thousands of individuals in the middle of the ocean into a single functioning team. I have to inspire them every day to rise above personal issues, like being away from their families for months at a time. If just one Midway sailor fails, we all fail.
On display in the Aztec Battalion headquarters.
Famous little figure
This
they
year's
have here
Aztec
on it.
Battalion Commandant's Award recipient is Second Lieutenant Isaac Scott.
I'm trying to get a good picture of it.
The San Diego State University President's Award recognizes a commissioner who demonstrated outstanding military leadership and academic excellence by finishing in the top 25% of their ROTC and university class. The recipient's name is added to the perpetual plaque on display in the Aztec Battalion headquarters. This year's SDSU President's Award recipient is Second Lieutenant Hunter Edmond. Distinguished military graduate is Second Lieutenant Kaylee Van Houten. To be presented to our most distinguished graduates. The U.S. Army Saber is a coveted award that is earned through hard work, sacrifice, and dedication. A true